promote your championship fight against George St. Pierre.
Yeah, but I don't need to go onto Reddit to promote my next fight against George St. Pierre. I'm flying to New York on Sunday to promote my fight against George St. Pierre, and we're going to do a whistle-stop media tour. Hold on, let me bring up the...
I bet you that none of these things, I bet you that the two of them are as valuable as doing an AMA on Reddit. Paul,
right.
Tell me the things you're doing. We'll see.
I know they're flying me out to New York, which is great, and we're going to do the podcast in person on Monday, so that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. Of course, we used to have our own radio show on Sirius XM, so I'm going to fly to New York, and the first thing on the agenda is Sirius XM.
No.
Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
They fired us.
Say again?
They fired us.
No, I know, but still, a lot of people do listen to them. So I'm doing the Jim Norton show at 8:15. But as I say, I do have the equipment to
What
do
day
that
are you
live
doing
from the
that?
house. What?
What day are you doing Norton and Sam Roberts?
Tuesday.
I'm doing it tomorrow.
And then I've got TMZ immediately after that.
Oh, that's cool.
Which again, I do TMZ here all the time. Hot 97, Ebro in the morning. You know that show?
That's a hip hop station, doggy. You're gonna go get some DJ Mikey B's got to come out.
There you go. Then I'm doing Fox Good Day New York with George St. Pierre. That should be fun.
Yeah.
So what is that? Is that
Nobody's
TV,
gonna
I'm
care
assuming?
about that. That's television. That's like the morning television show, like the news show.
Yeah, so that'll be my one chance to get in George St. Pierre's face, and I don't know. See, I don't want to be a dick, and I go with the best intentions. And my wife even says to me, "Michael, please try and handle yourself with a bit of class." And I'm like, "Oh yeah. Don't worry. It's like when I went into the cage to see Robert Whittaker after his fight against Yoel Romero, I went up with the full intention of saying, 'Congratulations, mate, amazing fight.' But then when I got in front of him and he's snarling at me, I just went turbo. You know what I mean? I started acting like a moron. And my wife's like, "Listen, you're going to be on TV in New York. George is very polite. Can you please handle yourself appropriately?" I'm like, yeah, of course. I'll be professional, I'll this and that, pay respects. But then there's a part of me that doesn't want to do that. There's a part of me that wants to have a bit of fun, and it's not just promoting a fight. Yeah, I want to promote the fight, but I'm also not fake either. I do want to have a bit of fun with the situation, and if you're in that situation and you're fighting somebody in Madison Square Garden, a historic fight, we're going to be on TV in New York, and I'm there with my opponent. What good is it sitting there and being all polite and saying, "Well, no, George is great. He's a legend." Let's give these people a show. Let's have a laugh. Let's give them something to talk about. That's kind of my mindset. You know what I mean?
I agree completely. And I got to be honest with you. Here's the thing. Your wife, I really do love your wife. And I've hung out with you guys a few times now. And your wife is one of the sweetest people I've ever met in your entire life. But I got to be honest with you. She's kind of a phony here. She didn't fall in love with Michael Bisping, the polite, "Oh, hello, we go have some tea." No, she fell in love with the fucking dickhead asshole Michael the Count Bisping.
Whoa.
You're a better person today than you were the day she fell in love with you, however long it was, 15, 20 years ago, whatever it was. You were a piece of garbage back then. You've turned into...
No, I was not a piece of garbage. I was a very, very nice man.
Yeah.
I was a very good guy. I was a good guy. Of course I was. I've got a huge heart. I'm a nice person. I try and be nice to everybody. I really do. You don't know, Lewis, the things that I do. Last night I was driving home from LA, and you know what really broke my heart? And by the way, I'm only a third of the way through my media stuff there. Then I got Sports Illustrated, Vice, CBS, blah, 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 New York Times. It goes on and on and on. We're big deals. But anyway, last night I'm driving home from recording Tough Talk in LA, and it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and of course the kids aren't long out of school, and there was this big, huge black man, and he had this big sign, and it was like he's, homeless, please help. And he had behind him his daughter. I'm assuming it was his daughter or somebody that he kidnapped, but it looked like his daughter, and she just finished school. She had a little backpack on, and I was just thinking, bloody hell, what is the world coming to? And this girl, she's going to go to school, and now she's going to go stand on a street corner with her blooming dad while he begs for money, and I just felt so bad. And of course the red light was on, and I stop and I pull up in a beautiful brand new Maserati car, and he's looking at me, and I wish to God I could have given them some money, but all I had on was my credit card. I had no cash.
What?
And I felt like such a dick. I just had to kind of
Why'd you stop?
I hadn't noticed them and look out the window.
Oh no. You just,
I had no money.
you
I had
slowed
zero
down.
money. I just,
You just showed them your nice car and you said, "Hey, what's going on?"
But what could I do? I had no cash. I couldn't say, here's my phone.
You know what he should have done? If he was smart, he would have gotten one of those little things that you plug into your phone and you can swipe a credit card. He's got to be a little more industrious.
Well, he's homeless, so
you're
I
gonna
guess
be
he
a
hasn't
fucking.
quite thought that far ahead. Well, all right. Well, recently though, I was going past Ralph's, which is a supermarket, and when I was leaving, no, I saw them first thing in the morning. It was this Mexican lady and her daughter. Her daughter, again, was about 6 or 7, and I've got a 7-year-old boy. And I saw them at like 8:30 in the morning. And it's hot as hell here right now in California. And then later on that day, and as I say, again, I had no cash on me then. Later on that day, I was leaving Ralph's car park, the supermarket car park, and they were stood there then, again, still begging. And by this point, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. And it looked like nobody had given them the time of day. So I turned around, I went back to the gas station, went in, got some cash. I bought a Sprite, I bought a Coca-Cola, I bought 2 bottles of water, I bought some Twixes, I bought some Reese, I bought a ton of candy and chips and this and that.
And you ate it right in front of them.
That poor little kid, I'm like, all right, the mother, you don't know what the circumstances are, and anything could have led them to that situation. They could be totally innocent. But regardless, whether or not it's a scam, because someone was saying, oh, they're a scam. I'm like, well, do you know who isn't scamming? That fucking kid, the 6 or 7-year-old girl sitting there in the blazing heat all day. She's not having a good time. So I went and pulled over, and I gave them the bag of the drinks and the chips and the chocolate and this and that. And I give her $20 as well. And the woman just started crying her eyes out straight away, and the poor little kid, she was so cute. And yeah, it broke my heart, to be honest. So I'm not a piece of shit, Lewis.
Yeah.
I'm not a piece of shit.
Well, here's
Thank
the
you.
thing. First of all, you don't really know. Mexicans are very small people, so that little girl might have just been a teenage Mexican woman. You have no idea, Mike.
I had no idea. But where were we going with this?
Well, no. Here's what happened. We were going with you telling you. I want to rewind it for everyone. Let's pull the curtain aside. What just happened was Mike told a story about how he was a piece of shit and rolled up on a black man and his daughter and didn't give him anything and just fucking showed him his awesome Maserati and then screeched off and left dust.
I did. I put the foot down, screeched off because I was running late. I had to go. But that's the worst. That's the worst feeling though, because I want to help. I'm a giving person, but I literally had nothing to give. And so I'm like pretending I can't see them, because it doesn't help them to look at them and like shrug my shoulders and put my hands out and go, I haven't got anything. And you know what I mean? They're like, oh yeah. Anyway, so
I only give money. Here's the thing: in New York City, like, you guys don't have homeless people the same way in California that we have here. You have to go down to like Venice Beach and deal with them.
Dude, you do around the LA area. Are you crazy? I mean, Orange County. I mean, not so much. There is homeless people, of course, but in the LA area, man, yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, you go down to certain parts, it's very, very sad.
No, let me explain to you why, though. Okay, here's the difference. Okay, when you go anywhere else, New York City is probably the only place, with the exception of very few places, one of the only places in the world that are like this. You are commuting by foot everywhere. Millionaires are commuting by foot. Okay, it is easier to get around. It's 3 miles wide, 13 miles long, or something like that. It's not a very big island. There's subways. It's the best public transportation system in the world. You are just encountering people on a different level. So every single day, I am encountering like 15 homeless people. I look at them right in their eyes. They ask me directly for money, and I say no, right to their face. You have to deal with that problem. You have to deal with actually going up and encountering a homeless person maybe once a week at the most in your life, because you drive everywhere.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. What you're describing there, Lewis, is called a city. Right, so don't give it the big one. Listen, New York is a great place, but what you're describing there is city life. Oh, there's lots of people, and people walk and they get around because it's an upbuilt area, and there's coffee shops and there's lots of people and thousands of people everywhere. I'm like, wow, this sounds like nothing I've ever heard of. It's a fucking city, Lewis. I've been to many of them, and New York is a great city, and it does have a wonderful underground system, as does London. Very, very good. Maybe better than the underground. the tube system in New York. But I'm biased, of course. And you're right. When you're in places like that, you do see it is much more condensed. And when it comes to the point where, because you can't give to everybody, you cannot give to everybody, and I get it. But when they're just standing there and you're in your car, because listen, LA is a city, of course, but it's very different. That's the point you're making. It's very spread out, and you're going to go everywhere by car. And when you're parked at a red light, and they're standing there with the sign and the child, and you got to be there for 3 minutes staring them in the face.